can't take anything away from Khamzat. Everything he's done it in style. I always hoped that nobody would beat him because now I can be the guy to beat him. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, it's always... I've tasted my first loss. I know what it feels like. It sucks. It really sucks.
DDP is going to surprise the world, man. He's a big motherfucker. He's fucking awkward. He comes forward. He doesn't get tired. Khamzat gets tired with small guys that were 155ers, you know what I mean, that went up to 170.
Everybody says on paper Khamzat beats me. How do I know? I can't even read.
You can't read?
Nah, but at the end of the day, my friend, it's DDP by whatever works.
The wait is finally over as we are probably hours away from one of the most awaited and highly anticipated middleweight encounters. The champ Dricus Du Plessis is all set to defend his belt against Khamzat Chimaev.
We are in Chicago, fight week. Finally we're here, going for the goal.
Dricus Du Plessis has expressed supreme confidence ahead of his fight with Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 319. He said Chimaev is certain he'll become world champion, but Du Plessis intends to prove that will never happen while he holds the belt. He added that after Saturday night, it might be time for Chimaev to reassess his approach, as taking a first loss can be a harsh reality check. Du Plessis, having experienced defeat himself, said it will be interesting to see how Chimaev responds when faced with that moment.
I think after Saturday night, it's going to be time to go and maybe do some introspection, saying, okay, how are we approaching this? Because I don't know where he's at on a mental level. I know he has a lot of money, as he says. I haven't checked his bank statements, but he says he has a lot of money. And, you know, he's so certain that he's becoming world champion. And I'm here to say no. There's no way you're becoming world champion while I'm the champion. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, it's always... I've tasted my first loss. I know what it feels like. It sucks. It really sucks. But that's where character comes in. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets up from this.
Dricus Du Plessis also brushed off the betting odds ahead of UFC 319, saying numbers mean nothing once the cage door closes. He made it clear his only focus is beating Khamzat Chimaev, no matter what the sports books say. Du Plessis even agreed with the notion that he became everything Khamzat was supposed to be, adding that it's simply because he's built differently.
The fact that, you know, I'm the underdog, I don't care. That's a gambler's problem. I'm not gambling on this fight. So for me, what it means, the only thing I care about is winning this guy. I don't care if it's Khamzat. I don't care if people think I'm going to win. If people thought if I was a minus 400 favorite, it wouldn't mean anything to me either. It doesn't change anything to me. Odds don't make fights, fighters do, and the odds have never dictated how I fight. So that's why, you know, saying that I became everything that people thought Khamzat was going to be, that I agree with that. I agree with that. But that's because I'm built different. And I'm going to show that again come the 16th.
DDP also scoffed at the idea of comparing his career to Khamzat Chimaev's, pointing out that while their UFC win totals are close, the quality of opponents he's faced makes the gap between their resumes ridiculous.
I don't want to be the guy that held the belt for longer, but I fought a guy that was ranked number 7 because number 1 got injured and he was the only guy that's going to take the fight. I want to fight the best of the best, and that is what I've been doing. If you go look at me and Khamzat, he's 8 wins in the UFC, I'm 9. Just go compare our resumes. It's not even, it's ridiculous.
Khamzat Chimaev reacted to DDP's statements and shrugs off the pre-fight talk, saying it's nothing new. All that matters to him is stepping into the cage, smashing Dricus Du Plessis, grabbing his paycheck and heading home.
If Dricus comes tomorrow at the press conference and says things, calls you words and stuff like that, does that stuff bother you anymore? Or do you just think, oh, it's just talk?
All the fighters talk, but nothing is gonna change here. Everyone has to fight in the cage anyway, so whatever he says, I don't care about. So I'm come here and to beat him up and take my money and go home.
However, Dricus Du Plessis says he doesn't plan or rehearse trash talk, explaining that his personal digs in past fights came naturally in the moment. He feels the hype for his bout with Khamzat Chimaev is already strong enough without fake drama, but adds that if Chimaev chooses to take that route, he's ready to respond.
I can't practice these things, guys. People always, they're pretty certain that I practice these things. I can't. I mean, that is, as we would say, fire banter around the fire. And if it's in the moment, it's funny. If it's predetermined, it's kind of cringy to me. So I have to do it in the moment. That's the only way I would know if there's something. I would say it the way I hear it. And up until this point, it looks like that won't be necessary. I think it might be just about the fight, which is also great. I mean, the fight's hype is already there. It's big enough. There's no need for fake beef. There's no need to try and... But if that's the route he wants to go, let's do it.
Dricus Du Plessis also dismissed criticism of so-called weird style, insisting it's actually a superior style that no one has been able to figure out, and that's exactly why it works.
Well, actually, what he was doing was he was saying other people will say your style is very weird. He disagreed. He called it just an MMA style. I'm curious, what do you think maybe people don't understand about your style and what you bring to the cage?
Yeah, I think you just said it best. They don't understand it. Because if they did, they would have figured it out by now, and they haven't. So I think it's a superior style. That's how I think of it.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan reveals the monster training sessions Khamzat Chimaev is putting in, going round after round with 10 fresh sparring partners every single day to stay razor sharp for his war with Dricus Du Plessis.
И как ты вот оцениваешь его форму, скажи мне, вот ты был рядом.
Не видели сейчас?
Ну я видел, я видел. Видел, как 10 раундов меняли все люди с ним.
Да, вот так же и каждый день на тренировке. Всех мучает, всех душит, всех ломает. Хорошая форма. Самое важное, что с весом все в порядке. Травм таких нету, которые ему могут помешать, да, и он здоров. Вот это самое важное.
Да.
Вот это то, что нужно удержать до взвешивания.
Arman Tsarukyan also pointed out that Khamzat Chimaev used to overtrain in camp, sometimes entering fights not fully recovered. He explained that a new coach now monitors Khamzat's daily recovery with specialized equipment, helping manage training intensity and ensure he's fresh and ready for fight night.
Выходит на пик, так как он любит очень много тренироваться, его на тренировках надо останавливать. Допустим, поспарринговал, идет там мешок бьет, потом лапы бьет, потом пойдет штангу покачается. То есть он из тех парней, которого нужно остановить и сказать: все, Хамзат, порастягивайся и уходи. Его проверяют каждый день, его восстановление, он встает, и есть монитор, где показывает его восстановление каждое утро. И если он находится в яме, то из ямы вытаскивают, дают больше отдохнуть, и чтобы он был свежий, мог выполнить, потому что ты, если придешь перетренированный на спарринг, ты не сможешь отработать. И из-за этого вот этого парня нужен человек, который будет 24/7 контролировать его и останавливать, чтобы он не перетренировался.
However, Dricus Du Plessis also promises fans the best version of himself yet, saying he's pushed harder than ever in camp to defend his belt and make a statement against what he calls the toughest opponent of his career, Khamzat Chimaev.
I can 100% certainly say that I have never put in the work that I've put in for this fight. And because, firstly, I need to defend this belt. And secondly, I need to prove a point in this fight. And I do know that I'm fighting the best fighter that I've ever fought in Khamzat Chimaev.
Meanwhile, Dricus Du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev recently had a little interaction during the fight week, and it looked like a friendly one.
Already? You, man. You good? You too, and you too, right? Yes, have a good weekend. Yes, bro. See you on fight night, right? It's going to be a good one. Let's do it. Of course. He was very respectful. He came over and said hello, and I mean, so the fight's happening on Saturday night. People aren't paying to see this. Yeah, it could have gone either way, but now we know.
Dricus Du Plessis reacted to his hotel lobby encounter with Khamzat Chimaev during fight week, joking that it felt like walking into Godzilla because of Chimaev's towering presence. He clarified he was kidding, noting that Chimaev was very respectful. He added that it was good to see Chimaev healthy and confirmed there was never any concern on his end about opponent changes, as he's ready for anyone.
It's a big fight week, massive fight, and already the fans are buzzing. You got to bump into your opponent in the hotel lobby. Curious, if anything, what you were able to take away from that interaction.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, like you saw, he's 8 feet tall.
Yep.
Basically, I walked into Godzilla. That's what I had to take away from that. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. He was super respectful, and like I always said, if my opponent is respectful, I'll be respectful before the fight. And it looks like there won't be any antics unless something changes. But it was great. I mean, it's good to see that my opponent's healthy. Now, all the questions, is he going to show up? It never bothered me, but I know it was a question for everyone. And the fact, it's not only the fact that I prepared for him and now I'm fighting somebody else. That doesn't bother me. I'm a complete fighter.
However, Khamzat Chimaev downplayed his first fight week encounter with Dricus Du Plessis, saying there was no tension and no reason for it to be personal. He said they're simply there to do business in the cage, not trade meaningless jabs and social media.
It's a big fight week, you know, your first opportunity to fight for a UFC title, and already you've got to see your opponent. You bumped into Dricus in the hotel. Talk to me about what that was like, and are you surprised he was so friendly and respectful?
What should he do? I don't know. Not anything pressure, like what I said, like nothing personal, just we're doing our business, fighting and having fun. Doing some Twitter shit. I don't know how to do, but I try.
On the other hand, Khamzat Chimaev says his focus is no longer on rewarding himself but on giving back to his parents. He explains that their sacrifices shaped him into the person he is today, and making them happy means more to him than any personal gain. Now, he feels it's his turn to repay them. Meanwhile, former middleweight champion Israel Adesanya believes Khamzat Chimaev will come out swinging hard from the opening bell, but sees Dricus Du Plessis weathering the storm early, and in his view, the deeper fight goes on, the more it favors DDP, predicting a late-round TKO somewhere around the 3rd or 4th. Adesanya admits if Khamzat wins, it will likely be a quick, violent finish in the first, but he's sticking with Du Plessis to get it done.
But yeah, Khamzat, from what you've already said, he showed his hand. He's gonna go after him from the get-go. But DDP, I think, can weather the storm and probably finish Khamzat later on. Because Khamzat, if it gets to round 3, 4, 5, it's gonna be a problem. It probably won't get to round 5. I say round 3 or 4 DDP. But if Khamzat's gonna win, it's gonna be in the first round. It's gonna be impressive. It's gonna be like spectacular. It's gonna be violent. But yeah, I'm gonna go with DDP. Yeah, I think he'll get it done. I think it's just stubborn. I'm gonna go Dricus by late TKO.
Moreover, Dricus Du Plessis believes Khamzat Chimaev is quietly worried about lasting 5 hard rounds, pointing to his own championship experience and proven gas tank as a major edge going into UFC 319. Dricus Du Plessis said, "We entered the UFC at the same time. I'm on my 3rd title defense. He's fighting for his first title. Experience plays its role. You know in your head that you haven't been able to fight at the pace you want to once the 3rd round comes. Doing it in training is completely different. In a fight you think, what do I do if this goes 5 rounds? In his mind, he has that doubt. I don't have that doubt. Dricus Du Plessis said, the hype around this fight comes from fans wanting to see the 2 best fighters in the world face each other. He noted that it's rare for such matchups to happen because injuries or unwillingness often get in the way, as there can only be one winner. Du Plessis said he wants to face the best in the world, and now fans are going to witness it. With 2 days left until fight night, he said everything is on track. The weigh-ins are only thing that is left, and he's excited to deliver the fight fans have been waiting for.
It's the hype of this fight. People want to see the 2 best fighters in the world go at it, and that's why this fight is so big, because it's truly, and a lot of times it's just not possible to get the 2 best guys right now because one is injured, and sometimes the 2 best guys in the world don't want to fight each other. Yeah, because it's tough. There can be only one winner. I want to fight the best in the world, and now people are going to see it. I mean, with 2 days out, there doesn't seem to be anything that's going wrong. I mean, the weigh-ins need to happen, but all things are looking great. We're here in fight week, myself versus Khamzat, and that's what the fans wanted, and I'm super excited for this.
Khamzat Chimaev explained how the first round could play out at UFC 319, saying it's too early to set anything in stone. While many anticipate a wild, fast-paced start with both fighters meeting aggressively in the center, he noted that his game plan often adapts once he's in the cage, as everything feels different when he finally sees his opponent's face.
We look at this fight, I think everyone expects round 1 to be crazy, right? You come out very aggressive, he's going to try and meet you. Do you expect the same thing? Do you think, hey, I'm just going to come out here and put it on him right away?
I don't know. We'll see in the cage, bro. So it's too early to think about these things. when I see his face, then it's different.
Dricus Du Plessis further described his recent run-in with Khamzat Chimaev as a respectful exchange, with both wishing each other well before their fight. He said there was no need for hostility outside the cage, but made it clear that once the bout began, his goal would be to finish Chimaev.
A few moments ago, you and Khamzat Chimaev, you guys ran into each other. He came up to you. What'd you make of that? What'd you see when you looked in his eyes?
Yeah, I saw him. I mean, there was nothing but respect. I mean, he said to me that he's happy that I'm healthy and ready to go. And I said to him, right back at you. I mean, you know, it doesn't always have to be that hostile. But when the cage door closes, I'm in there to kill him.
Meanwhile, Dricus Du Plessis also sends a sharp message to anyone looking at his fight with Derek Brunson as a blueprint for beating him at UFC 319. He says that the worst case scenario already happened in that bout, with Brunson's corner throwing in the towel. In his words, opponents can have the first round, but he'll gladly take their towel in the end.
I feel like a dick for bringing this up, but the fight against Derek Brunson was only 2 years ago, and the first round, he really had a lot of success in the wrestling, in the grappling also. What has changed, and what's when you look back to this fight, which was the first one, and it really didn't go your way? Of course, the easy thing to do would be to compare. Khamzat is even better wrestler, so it could go even worse. And if he takes a submission, it could go.
It can't really go worse than him throwing in a towel. It can't go worse. No. Yeah, take your first round. Cool. I'll take a towel.
Yeah, okay, so that's how you see it.
That's the answer. That's the answer, yes.
Michael Page acknowledged that Dricus Du Plessis has a knack for pulling off victories no matter how chaotic the fight looks, and he respects the South African's ability to make it work every time. However, after witnessing Khamzat Chimaev's training firsthand and seeing the level of skill and intensity he brings, Page feels confident putting his money on Boris to walk away with the win at UFC 319.
Who wins out of DDP and Khamzat?
It's a difficult one, simply, and I say this all the time, and it's weird. The more you watch DDP, you have to kind of respect the wins that he gets, regardless of how he does it. Like I said, I just find it messy. I'm sure he trains. He's very tactical. He's very skillful, but he just looks messy. And he somehow just knows how to keep finding ways to keep winning fights and so on and so forth. So I've never really rated him in terms of like style, but he's a winner. So, you got to put massive respect to him. But Khamzat, I've actually got the privilege of watching him train. So I've seen his quality. So I would definitely put my money that way, but it's just hard to bet against it. So it's a great fight.
Michael Venom Page admitted he's baffled by Dricus Du Plessis' rise, describing his style as messy and unpredictable, yet consistently effective. He added that while he would have easily backed Khamzat Chimaev in the past, Du Plessis' string of wins now makes predicting the outcome far more difficult.
I genuinely don't understand why DDP keeps winning, because he's got such a kind of almost messy. He's like a super talented amateur fighter, and I can see like aspects of his technical ability, but it seems messy. Like it's not a style that is appealing to me. But he just seems to know how to get the win and know how to kind of push through. In all honesty, if this fight came up before, I'd be like Khamzat, I'd just pick that, no issues. But DDP just knows how to keep grinding out a win. So for me, it's a hard one to even pick.
Anthony Hernandez predicted that Dricus Du Plessis would surprise the world against Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 319. He praised DDP's size, awkward style, constant forward pressure, and cardio, noting that Chimaev has shown signs of fatigue even against smaller opponents moving up in weight. While acknowledging Chimaev's win over Robert Whittaker, Hernandez argued that many of Chimaev's past opponents have been one-dimensional, and if taken to the floor, they tend to struggle.
Who do you think wins that fight, by the way?
I think DDP is going to surprise the world, man. He's a big motherfucker. He's fucking awkward. He comes forward. He doesn't get tired. Khamzat gets tired with small guys that were 155ers, you know what I mean, that went up to 170. So I'm still not really sold on him. I know he's good. I know he can beat Robert Whittaker. But like I said, the old is very one-dimensional. They only have one tool. If you can get them to the floor, it usually seems that they have a bad night. And that's just the honest truth of how I've seen it play out.
Anthony Hernandez further described Dricus Du Plessis as a rare kind of challenge for Khamzat Chimaev, bringing size, toughness, and stamina that could test him in ways previous opponents hadn't. He noted that most of Chimaev's past competition have moved up from lighter divisions, whereas Du Plessis is a true middleweight. Hernandez said he is curious to see how the fight will unfold and expressed confidence that DDP will get it done.
Middleweight title on the line between Dricus and Khamzat. How do you see it playing out?
I think Dricus is going to get him, dude. He's a tough son of a bitch, you know what I mean? He doesn't gas out, and then, like I've said with Khamzat, I've never seen him like fight like a legit 185. I mean, Whitaker, yeah, but like besides that, everyone else is like 155ers coming up and so I really want to see him with an actual test, you know what I mean?
If that test was you and you fought Khamzat Chimaev, how would that play out?
I think he gasses. You give me 5 rounds with him, I'll finish anybody, you know what I mean? I don't give a I'm here to fight whoever. I want the belt, so I'm going to fight all these sooner or later, run it. Like, as simple as that.
Furthermore, Reinier de Ridder favored Dricus Du Plessis, citing its aggressive openings and non-stop early pressure. He admitted it's tough to assess Khamzat Chimaev's current form, as the quick win over Whitaker didn't provide a full picture. While acknowledging Chimaev may have made significant improvements, de Ridder felt too many questions remain to be certain about his present level.
Dricus is a guy who doesn't really hold anything back anyway in the first couple of rounds, so that's why I feel like Dricus might be the favorite in my mind, but we'll see. We haven't seen Khamzat as active. We didn't see a lot from him in the Whitaker fight because he took him down, stayed on top, and then finished him pretty quickly. So I'm curious. Maybe he evolved a lot as well. We don't really know where Khamzat is at because he might have just really upped his game and really evolved as a fighter as well.
That wraps up today's video, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis promise an epic showdown, and the fans can't wait to witness it. So share your final predictions about this matchup in the comments section, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.